All right. A bit of an impromptu ritual tonight. My statue for Zhao Gongming, which I probably didn't pronounce correctly, came today from China. Very heavy, very pleased. He is one of the gods of wealth, and as I move along in this Maoshan path, I am using, in addition to the gods and goddesses I've used in the past, I'm not leaving them behind, but I'm adding to. And in this case, Zhao Gongming is one that I'm certainly adding to. I'm actually really pleased. I hope it can show. I left the upper light on. Really like this. Very heavy, very thick. You can see the ingots. I got my model ingot out. That is also solid. It's very heavy. Not a real ingot, so if you rob me, that's not going to get you anything. But very pleased. I don't know how many times I can say I'm very pleased. But I did ask what I should do. I have the PDF to enliven idols in the Maoshan tradition. And I haven't read it yet because I'm waiting for some things to arrive that I was told I would need. So I asked Zhao Gongming what I should do, how I should at least initially do this, so I can at least get a good start with this idol here, honoring him, and through him honoring myself and that which he represents. So I was told these 3 sticks of expensive agar wood. It's aromatic. I think it's aromatic. Aromatic. You can't always find it on Amazon. And when I do, I snatch the box up. I don't think I've ever seen more than a couple boxes. And it's all made by hand, apparently. So I was told to burn 3 sticks of that and put this idol in it. I was also, my additional ingots, these are unfolded, but I will get to that in this video. I bought some additional ingots because I will need them for rituals, and those also came today. Very fortuitous for me. Now, this is paper that I've already opened in the past. You've seen it in the other rituals. This is almost the last few pieces I have left of that batch, which I've largely done to honor others, but also including my family and family of those I love. So, but this is almost done. So I looked at this stuff and it's like I could feel there was a want, maybe an appropriateness, or not a need, but an appropriateness to burn some of these things in honor of receiving this idol and it being accepted, because he did accept it when I reached out about purchasing it, because I don't like to buy idols that I don't know are going to be accepted. And that can just vary on a person by person basis. So I was told, what I heard, and this is obviously just being interpreted, like I've said in the past, I heard a 3 by 3 by 3. So essentially what I was shown, though, is that you need 3 ingots with 3 pieces of this money. 3 ingots, 3 pieces of this money. 3 ingots, 3 pieces of this money. And so I will be folding the money in ingots, well, as best I can. I will be folding and burning these additional gold ingots that came today, so that way I don't mix up my count for my personal debt, which I have started. I've started folding those. So first, let me pass the idol through the smoke. And this isn't a cleansing thing here, actually. You can do that. I don't feel it's necessary, and I don't feel it will change. I don't feel it change anything, because once they accept it, then, and accept to be not necessarily a part of it, but to manifest through it at times, they're going to blast out all that other stuff, right? I know there will be some people that disagree with that, and that's fine. Differences of opinion doesn't mean the difference is something not working. So I've been doing these ingots. I'm surprised my hands aren't all gold or anything because I was actually blowing leaves earlier. So we'll go ahead, and there's one. And I have a video on how I go about this. I did, let's see, I've got somewhere around 3,000 of them, maybe 3,500 of them out of the 14,000 to unfold. So they aren't bad. I have a tendency to buy from the stores that have worked in the past. Now, when I bought from about 2 of the 6,000s, it happened to be a Chinese holiday. Well, a China holiday about the nation. So a party holiday is essentially what it is. And that delayed things for quite a bit. I was getting worried. My 2-week delivery time ended up being about a month and a half. So, okay. So now we have the 3x3x3 of these. And now I will fold these ingots. I know it's not terribly exciting, but that's all right. And these are all, well, I've said it elsewhere, but I should state, since you may not have seen it, that I have been told by credible people that the money is for the dead, or for use for the dead, but ingots are for like the gods, goddesses, and things like that. So I fold my money into ingots, and this is because I believe it increases its value, because all of these ingots are symbolic, right? These are all symbolic ingots. So I am, this might just be a 1-for-1 error that I'm making, but it doesn't decrease the value of the paper. So I will take these few moments, which you can always fast forward through. I'm sorry if you hear me sniffling. It's gotten a lot colder here, and I had actually had a bloody nose earlier. I was blowing leaves too, so all that's going to kind of add to it. So I apologize if there's some sniffling going on. The GoPro seems to take that, pick that up much better than some of the other things I'd rather hear. All right. I do and don't pay attention to which direction they go. Some people might say it matters, but I mean this is symbolic in a lot of ways, right? And it seems to have some tangible benefits, though. I'm not saying it doesn't. You know, I mean, we can make a peanut butter and jelly for our ancestors, and that can have benefit, but it doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be chomping down on it the same way. You know what I mean? So. Now, I have no idea what they're going to be using, what Zhao Gongming is going to be using this for, but that really isn't my concern. It's appropriate for me to offer. It's not appropriate for me to really ask. I mean, I suppose I could, but whether or not I get an answer wouldn't really matter. And I don't have that type of relationship with him at this point. So this is, in fact, the only time I've ever spoken with him before is when I was looking at a PDF of I don't say preferred, but Maoshan approved. That makes it sound exclusionary, though. It's just these are the deities they prefer. Prefer is probably better. They don't necessarily say why in their doctrine right there out in the open. So maybe there's some reason to it, but I mean, if you're going to buy into a system, then sometimes the why isn't necessarily relevant until you've really bought into it, because you just might not know. And some of these things, I think, this is just me talking out my ass, really, but some of these things are, this was an agreement between the person that carried the knowledge and the entity, and so therefore, that's the way it is. But other, I'm not saying there isn't something valid there, because there very well could be. I don't know. But I think a lot of times when the knowledge of why is lost, that seems to be a logical reason. It's like, if we look at Western magicians, or at least Western practices or Western thoughts with regards to evocation and demonolatry and things like that, then a lot of times we do things simply because an entity we work with asked us to. And if you were the lineage holder, okay, cool. I saw two here, and I was like, oh crap, I shorted him one. Probably not a good idea with the God of Wealth, right? Or a God of Wealth. I don't know if he's the God of Wealth. I think there was another one, but I can't honestly remember, and I don't want to be wrong. So, anyways, the person transmitting the doctrine was either told to or agreed to for certain benefits or something like that, like kind of like a pact almost, an agreement with maybe the lineage or maybe the household, and the household became the lineage. I mean, you know what I'm saying, right? It could just be a transmission thing that's just been going on, and that can confer some benefits, or I suppose it could go the other way too. I am clearly not an expert. I don't know if I'll ever be an expert. Actually, I said this in a job interview one time, and it kind of applies here. I've been the best at something before, or at least close enough to be like in the top 10 of something before, like nationally, right? For some process that I used to do back in a biotechnology lab with a very sophisticated piece of equipment. I mean, we were the people that found the bugs for this stuff, right? Because I figured out how to triple the output and then triple that, right? And it basically meant that I had trouble getting somebody to fill my job that I hadn't trained or been trained with. Do you see what I'm saying? And so what I usually say in job interviews is I don't want to be the best at anything, because I've been at least near the best before, but I sure as hell want to be damn good. And so that is my goal. I don't have to be the best. I don't have to be the most knowledgeable. I don't have to have all the answers. I don't. But that's what I keep in mind. I want to be damn good. All right. Now, money life lesson that you didn't ask for. All right, so here we go. I'm going to fold these into rough ingots. They may not stay in place. They may not stay in shape. It's the pattern I'm using is literally for a square, and I fold them to near squaredom, if you will. So they don't always work, but again, these are representative, and they are understood to be what they are. In a video I haven't published publicly, I published it to the person I did it for. They were having family problems, and so I said, hey, can I go ahead and do this for you? And their family got a lot more civil and got a lot more done literally almost immediately afterwards, because it was part of their culture, and I'm not going to say who that was, but they got a lot out of it, and that's very rewarding to somebody like me, because I don't claim to be, I'm not a child of the dragon, if you will. or well, I guess they call the Chinese people the dragon, right? I'm not. I'm not people the dragon in any way. I'm. Some of my siblings have taken genetic tests for very good reasons, actually, and European overwhelmingly so. All right, now that I've blattered on about this, here we go. Zhao Gongming, thank you for accepting this idol. Thank you for helping me select it. I know there were much more expensive ones, and that can be done over time. But I appreciate you working within my budget, so that I may honor you, and reap the rewards of benefits from doing so. So please accept these ingots. Usually I do these in a big fire, so I'm not sure how they work. Let me stand up. I'm going to go ahead and turn the fan up a little bit. Hope it doesn't cause some sound issues. Shouldn't. But I also don't want to, I have no idea what's on this paper, right? It looks like a foil paper, but it's clearly coated with something. When you fold them, your hands get orange. So orange-ish. I mean, a lovely shade of pretend gold. Okay, so I did 3 of those. I'm going to do 3 of these. I don't know why I thought I should do that. It could just be me, or it could be more. I don't know. I'm not really concerned about breathing this stuff in. I have before. I still prefer it vented, but I'm not going to sweat too much over that. Right. Now, since I don't like long silent pauses here, if it isn't for that specific effect, and since I've already said these are for him, and there's no question about that, let me explain a little bit about what I see with the Maoshan practices so far, because I can see some parallels in some ways about that and demonolatry, but it's not to be confused with the 101. It's not like, oh, this tacks over to this tacks over to this. It's not like that, right? These are usually service-based approaches, in a sense. It doesn't necessarily mean deliberate physical service, right? It can mean, is that 3? Yeah, okay. It can mean offerings, and that's an integral part, because you're kind of expected to give offerings. Easiest way to do that is to give offerings to a church or something like that, but you don't have to, right? I'm not here. I don't know of one around here. Even if I did, it wouldn't be Maoshan. But I wouldn't be opposed to going to a Buddhist temple. In fact, I've thought about the large Buddhist temple on Oahu that I've been to that I genuinely miss. And I would go there. I would have no problem going there and making offerings, because that is in itself a holy place. But it is a service-based approach in a lot of ways. You are partially serving them. You are partially serving yourself through means that they have defined. Meaning that, okay, I do this one exercise that attunes me towards some power that they want me to possess, or that all of their students, their advocates, their acolytes, whatever you want to say, will possess or should possess. We've already talked about why that may be. But let me give an example. The immortal fox, for example. I still do 3 sticks of incense every single day. For the first 100 days, I did 1 stick of incense. Ooh, that one's kind of drooping a little bit there. And after that, it's 3, and I still do 3. In fact, I do 3 unless I can't for some reason, or I'm told I don't need to. I've made maybe an offering that is superior to that which I'm about to give, which is kind of what happened on Halloween. Actually, I made some serious offerings on Halloween. Ancestors, to those I work with. I didn't record it because there were others around. We're literally handing out, we're handing out, candy, and they have no idea that I'm over there doing an offering. So, all right, but I guess we're cutting that conversation short because this is the last. Okay. All right. That's pretty much it. It might glow a little red, but it's pretty much done with the big burns. Zhao Gongming, thank you. Thank you for accepting this idol. Thank you for giving me a way to activate non-art in your stead. I look forward to working with you.